Friends of Nagara, welcome back to our virtual demo day. Our next presentation will be offered by TAB Fusion RMS, an exhibitor of Nagara. TAB Fusion RMS is an enterprise-class client-server or hosted cloud-based electronic document and records management solution, employing robust standard configurations and a configured user-friendly approach to provide a highly secure single source of truth in a single EDRMS solution software. Fusion RMS can automate business processes by tracking and managing electronic documents, physical files, documents, and boxes from a department level to an enterprise deployment, giving you complete lifecycle management of critical information. They focus on understanding your business operations and uncovering ways to incorporate automation and a more streamlined approach to your business. The demands on organizations to ensure data privacy, integrity, and long-term preservation are more important than ever today, and that's where TAB Fusion comes in. Presenting on behalf of TAB is our friend Robbie Clark. Robbie, the rest of the 20 minutes is yours, so please go ahead and take it away.
Excellent. Thank you, Johnny, and pleasure to be here, everybody. My name is Robbie. I work as a solutions consultant on the TAB Fusion team. So I specialize in helping customers transform their records into a fully supported software system. So my goal here today is to give you kind of an overview of what TAB does, and I can dive right into that. So just a moment here while I get the presentation going. All right, excellent. So first of all, I'd like to thank Nagara for hosting that great event in Cincinnati. It was a pleasure not only to connect with the members of the Nagara network, but also meet some of our existing Fusion RMS customers. As noted, I've been working on this team for many years, especially through the pandemic when we were all remote. It's great to continue to get in person, understand the evolution of the records we're trying to manage, what people are trying to accomplish now in 2023. So again, very excited to be here today and speak with you all. TAB as an organization, we're over 75 years old, a very stable and secure business. We've been really been part of the records industry for a very long time. So when we are going to these events and speaking with customers, it really resonates with us and how we are building our solution and making sure it's top class and meeting the needs of the market. So that's what I'm going to go through today. Is just high level what Fusion will help you accomplish, how we support our customers, and again deliver a world-class records management software for managing either physical or electronic records. So Fusion RMS, the core of our product originated with physical records. So again, the barcode tracking, scanning, retention management of each record, whether that's the file level documents or in managing boxes in more of a warehouse setting. We also get involved with the electronic side. So Fusion itself can manage over 400 different electronic document types, such as PDFs, TIFFs that you're maybe scanning into an application. So really, we bring those both together in our enterprise solution, where you can have a box that you're managing physically, pull the records out of the box, start to digitize them, process any requests that come in from your organization, and really manage the whole life cycle of the record there. So when we build and configure these systems, a lot of what we take into consideration is the life cycle of the record. So where does the data originate? Is it coming from another system where we can reduce data entry, reduce errors associated with keying or records? Having the file structure of the records with the complete chain of custody. So who created the record? where has it been throughout the course of its life cycle? Managing security. So, are there different departments that only need to see certain records groups? The versioning those records, annotations, redactions, those are very core to our product and our business. We also help produce labels out of the TAB Fusion product. So, you entered the box data, you want to label that box, and then you can start tracking it, through our wireless scanners or direct connect scanners, which we'll talk about later on. We also support with requests, transfers of the objects from location to location, exception reporting, which is again critical when managing a large box collection. So, what areas have the ability to take on new boxes? What also at the end of the life cycle of the record, how long you want to hold on to those boxes. So running eligible for disposition reports, generating certificates of destruction. And the whole time, Fusion is logging, again, who allowed that destruction, how, any user that created the box or the record, again, throughout the whole life cycle. Also supporting things like legal holds and citations, again, making sure you're holding on to what's critical to your business, for as long as you need to. So when we take all those pieces and bring them together, really we get our overall governance controls. So we can manage, again, the physical, the electronic. We're bringing in data into the software, trying to automate that. And then you have the external users requesting that information. So again, Fusion is all permissions based. So you can have a team that would log in, do research, submit a request, and that either can be fulfilled in physical form. So again, you're tracking the barcode or the file or the box to that person that submitted the request, or you can then trigger a digitization process where you take the physical piece of paper, scan it into your workstation computer. It then pops up in Fusion, and you can email it to the end user who requested it. So really, we specialize in creating that holistic solution for all parts of your physical and electronic record set. So next up, I'm going to be giving you guys a preview of our warehouse solution. It is box centric, so typically customers of ours are managing thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of boxes. The performance of Fusion is fantastic, so we can load thousands of box lines of metadata at a time. You can query, report on that. And really get the collection that you're trying to look at and utilize in your day-to-day business. So let's get into some of the the key features and functionalities of the product here today. So this is our editable grid. So this acts much like an Excel spreadsheet. So you can do copy paste. You can move around the grid with your keyboard. And this is what's representing all of your box data. So this is a standardized solution. So it's out of the box. It's very fast for us to deploy, and it will meet a lot of business needs we see out there today. So again, managing an offsite storage number, managing the description of the box, trigger dates like the creation date to possibly calculate retention. So when something is eligible to go to offsite storage or be destroyed. And that's all of that data in the grid you're seeing can also be producing reports that you need. So like how many boxes were checked out in the past month? How many requests have been submitted to the records team at your organization? So this whole grid can also be customizable. So you can kind of take the out of the box system. We can tweak it and make it perfect for your use case. So you'll see on the left-hand side we have our navigation panel, or where we kind of bucket your data and information. So here you have your boxes work group, which then contains all your box data. Then you have your tracking destination, so where you can particularly assign a box. So is it shelving you're managing? Are you assigning it to different offices, or what employees would possess a record that you would want to transfer it to? And you can do all of the transfers and requests either right through the system itself, or you leverage the barcode scanners. This all of the columns here can be sorted based on the column header. They can be reorganized by the user, and again, it is all security and permissions based. So certain users can go in, only see the boxes applicable to their department. So you can have multiple departments logging in. They only see the boxes or the records that they're interested in. So on the bottom, you'll see here I've selected box number 8, and on the bottom I can see it was scanned in by the system administrator back in June, and it's currently located on this shelf. You'll also notice the infamous James Bond has submitted a request, so he's sent one in there, and that would then ping the records person to fulfill the request, transfer it to James, and he would be in possession of that secret box. All right. Core to physical tracking is also our label production. So the two types of labels Fusion can typically produces are black and white labels and color labels. So on the left-hand side of my screen is just some standard black and white box labels. So again, you would use that grid, creating new boxes, clicking the print button, and then you would produce a nice array of fresh box labels you can adhere to those records. On the right-hand side, we have more of our file-centric tracking labels. So those are the tab quick labels, which go on the side of manila folder, where you would stick that on there, and then you would track it to a shelf, or maybe put the file directly into the box for long-term storage. These labels are supported with our barcode scanning technology. So typically users would use a wired direct connect barcode scanner that would plug right into the Fusion workstation. Then you can scan these in real time and update the tracking data. The other way we see customers wanting to approach it is more from a wireless standpoint. So that in that case, you would have like a data logic scanner with our barcode tracking app, and that scanner would allow you to scan hundreds of boxes throughout the day and import it into Fusion without being connected to the internet. So it's completely offline. It's so you can bring it in a warehouse that's typically not the best Wi-Fi area, and perform your barcode scans and really make it a great solution for you. Once those new barcodes have been assigned to the boxes, they're going on the shelves. Then you're tracking them and assigning them to those actual specific locations. So one of the great things with our warehouse system is going to be again leveraging that grid. So here you have your columns of data and information that represent what is that shelf. How many boxes can we put on that shelf? So you can, there's all sorts of ways you can define, the width, the capacity height, to then calculate the current box count. And then what Fusion does is we'll actually tell you what shelving is eligible to accept new boxes. The other cool tool we actually see a bunch is, shelving that has too many boxes. So maybe someone accidentally scanned, 14 or 15 boxes to a shelf that only had a capacity for 12. So you would have reporting through this area to be like, oh, this box looks strange. Let me go check it out. And then you can rearrange your collection to, really get that pinpoint accuracy of what's being physically tracked. And this is just for the box level. You can do that same reporting for files. You can do it for documents. So it's really flexible solution. This particular system is set up for that shelving, but you don't necessarily have to go so granular. So again, you can just track it to a general warehouse and then use alpha or numeric filing to locate the record. You can also go, track it to offices. Really, you're not limited to the amount of tracking destinations you need to have. So again, very scalable, accepting multiple departments, so you can have teams with different destinations for your boxes. So a great feature of the product here. Reporting is also very powerful in Fusion. We recently came out with a fresh new dashboard, which is producing some fascinating analytics for what users are actually accomplishing in the system. So what you can do is report on, how many, how many transfers happened in the past week. How many records did a clerk or somebody create in the past month? Also looking at the collection as a whole. So if you're breaking down boxes by department, so you can see, what percentage of your warehouse or your record center is possessing different record types and classifications. So this is a very customizable and formatable area. We also have out-of-the-box reports that help manage things like retention or just inventory reports or past due. So when you're assigning boxes or file folders out, you can have Fusion send out reminders of when things are due, or paying the records people to remind that person and possibly hunt down that record if it's really critical to the organization. With retention management, Fusion can apply it to multiple different levels, which is whether it's the boxes, the file folders, or the individual documents. It also doesn't matter if the record is whether it's in physical or electronic form. So here you can see how I'm applying retention to an engineering collection. So here I'm saying that these engineering records are kept for 8 years after their creation date. So so again, we use the data in the grid, which is, you create that new box. You're saying that box was created on today's date, and that I want to start that retention calculation 8 years from today. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, what you have are multiple reports that will start populating for you. So what's eligible for final disposition? So that's scanning all of your boxes, all your file folders, any electronic documents, and telling you these are eligible for destroyed, or these are eligible to purge or mark as inactive. There's a lot of different settings as well that I just kind of referenced that Fusion can help support with managing the full life cycle, especially when it comes down to the disposition and retention management. Typically it's a system admin that has the permission to destroy something. So once that admin does destroy something, their signature and their username is put on the certificate, so you can always refer back to that, and that's an artifact of the system. So so not only can you produce those certificates of disposition, whenever you go to look up that record, it will be flagged as destroyed, or it will be marked in the system based on whatever policy you apply to it in the software system. So next, we're going to kind of flip over to managing electronic records. So we were just focusing on the physical side. So if there ever is a need to pull an individual document out of a box or out of a file folder, and you want to scan it into our solution, that is fully supported. Again, 400 different electronic record types. So we pretty much can manage anything in Fusion. but this is a specific tool that's new. It's called our document vault, and it allows very easy access to end users to be able to drag and drop records right into the system. Once records are dragged into this screen, they are fully OCR'd and searchable. So you can not only search the text, but the contents of the documents. You'll get Google-like search results and hyperlinks that you'll be able to go right to that document and then process it accordingly. So this we set this area up really just to create like a dumping ground for electronic records, and then your records people, which would have different permissions, again, to just to edit and add new things into the system, would then go in and put these documents added in the vault into their final resting place. So that's that allows certain teams not to have to spend a lot of time processing records, or all they have to do is drag and drop it into the system, and it's in there and good to go for long-term storage. The other use case we see with Fusion is just straight up digitizing the pieces of paper. So if you do have paper records that you want to start scanning, we plug into any sort of Twain driver document scanner. So very easy to support that. Just you would plug it in, use that driver, and you can start scanning pieces of paper right into Fusion. So here on the top right of this window, you'll see that there's a scan button. So again, that would trigger that paper to digital transformation there. We can also drag and drop files right into the software system, into this view, and that document again is OCR'd, it's searchable, and now part of the the collection that's stored in Fusion. Often we see customers deploying this system via SaaS. Software as a service is a very common deployment we see. So you would see this very easily deployed in weeks rather than the traditional on-premise systems, which may be a little bit longer term. These systems are a little bit more cost-effective upfront as well, being a monthly fee rather than a large upfront license cost. And the Fusion team does automatic upgrades for you, and it really focuses on just maintaining your records in that collection and not dealing with technical issues or servers going down. We have a fantastic uptime of around 98%, and our technical support team is always on it. So we're in there 5 days a week working on the systems, helping everything be stable and helping you manage and make your collection as beneficial as possible. I also work on that team as well as part of my day-to-day activities. So supporting customers, making sure, making recommendations to how they manage their collections better, helping them with reporting and training. It's really one of my favorite things about my job and my career here at TAB. So how can we help here at TAB Fusion? What we get into a lot is dealing with customers with legacy systems, so old technology that they want to refresh. So often we're setting them up with a new on-premise application, or the faster deployment nowadays is SaaS. We're also focused on the physical lifecycle of the record. So again, the box and warehouse management. That's just really one of our standard out-of-the-box systems. We have many more for different verticals, but I felt that one would speak most to the Nagara community. Also, the digital transformation. So helping customers move from managing paper to managing just electronic records. So we help implement these through up to like an enterprise class solution. So you can have the system all in multiple locations. You can have it in multiple countries. It's fully supported, and again, a world-class records management solution. Security is always a top concern of ours. So we're always developing the software, making it more secure, working with different authentication methods and verification. So everybody managing users is very easy. Getting into the application is very easy to sign into, and that all the back end is supported by our support team on our technology side. So our support group is part of the core to our product. So after you would purchase a records management system through Fusion, you would have access to our help desk, which is available Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Eastern time, and that provides you with our latest releases that we're producing, typically on a quarterly basis, any sort of security patches or system maintenance that comes up. We're always there to help. You can also see we have a link direct to our support website, so and a phone number. So again, we always stay close to our customers and try to stay on top of things and help out if something ever comes up. So with that all said, I would like to again thank Nagara for the opportunity to present here today. Very great working with Johnny and the whole group, and look forward to attending the next conference. So thanks so much, Johnny. Back to you.
That last part, and we'll see you in Atlanta in 2024. Thank you so much, Robbie and TAB Fusion.
Yeah, for sure.
We're out of time, so no time for questions, but if you do have them, there you are, rclark@tab.com. You can email your questions to Robbie. Thanks again for your support, and we appreciate your presentation today.